Hi everyone, this is Monica from Informatica Support. So today we'll discuss how to change the output view in Relate. The agenda for today is as follows. Demo on how to read the Relate on input from database, demo on how to change the output view of Relate, and demo on how to store the Relate output directly into the database. So Relate is a batch search utility which is used to search a batch of records against the IDT. So it contacts the IIR search server and returns the result either in a flat file or it will return the result directly into the database. So today we'll see how to read that input from the database and get the output into a database, and also how to use a view to change the output of the relate. Let's go ahead and have a look at the SDF file. So in my SDF file, I've created an index on the employee name. An index has been created on the employee name, and also I'm searching. Search1 is defined, which is also searching on the based on employee name and matching also on the based on employee name. So I'll go ahead and show you the contents of my IDT table. So this is my IDT table, and these are all the records which are present in my IDT table. And this IDS_e name is the column on which the keys are generated and on which the search is being performed. And since I want to read an input from a SQL table, I've already formed a table called EMP2 in which all my batch records in a batch form records are present, which would be in a batch format, which would be searched against the IDT table. So the contents of this table is as such. So I have two records in it which would be searched again with the relate utility against the IDT table. So in order to use a SQL table, what we have to do is we have to define a logical file definition into our system. The logical file definition would refer to the SQL table which contains the records. Now let me show you how to add the logical file definition into the system. We'll go to the IIR console now. This is the IIR console, and the system that I've selected is cluster 2. The name of my system is cluster 2. So in this we'll go to edit, keep previous changes and continue editing, click on OK. In this, under the logical file section, we'll add another logical file definition. In this, I've already added a logical file to save time, that is lf-emp2. that is the logical file name I've given to the logical file. And in this, the format type would be SQL since we are reading it from the database. Also the format option would be data source since we are defining from an external data source, that is the SQL table. We are reading the input records from an external table. So we have to use the define source clause in this for the EMP2 table, which specifies all the columns of that table. After this, you have to save the changes and load the edited system. Now since we want the output in a customized format, that is we do not want all the fields, as in we want to use an output view in it. So for example, you might not want to use all the fields of the IDT table to be displayed in the result of the search of the relate. So what you can do is you can specify, you can define a view of your own, and for that you have to go to the views section and create your own view. So I've already created a view called view 1, which has the following columns, that is ename, job and IDS score. So let me go to the IDT once again. So in my IDT table, these are all the fields which are present. So in my search result, I would want only the ename and job to be present. So for that, I can specify in my view definition only those two fields. Also there's another predefined field named as IDS score. You can add that field as well. This field would give the match score that was achieved when the particular transaction in the EMP2 table was searched and matched against the records present in the IDT table. So this would give you the score of it. After this, and you can add more fields according to whatever the customized view you want in the output. After this, you have to save the changes and load the system again. So for now it's already loaded, so we'll go and run the relate utility now. Are you sure you want to exit? Yes, we want to exit. Now go to tools, go to relate. Alright, so here in the input file, since we're not using a flat file, we're using a database table to read the input. So we will have to specify the L file variable always when you are reading the input from a database table equals to the name of the logical file, that is lfemp2. In the output file, you can specify the output dot txt. This is the output file where the result of the relate would be stored. Search definition, all the search definition in the system are listed. You can choose one on which you want to perform the match. You can choose the search width, match tolerance. Okay, so also we have defined a view, that is the view 1, in which we want the output to be. So we can specify the output view as view 1, and we can append new line. You can check this box so that when the result is returned, all the records would be returned in a different line in the output flat file, which would be more easy to read. Now you can click on OK. The relate search is running and the job is completed. Since in the relate we did not specify any particular directory, so the output.txt flat file would be stored in the IDS directory, that is the default IIR work directory. You can close it. You can navigate to the IDS directory. So we see that the output.txt is created. When we open it, we see all these records. These are the records which were matched, and according to the search definition, search 1, these are the search results. And also we can see that only 2 of the fields, that is ename and job, are here, and also IDS score. This specifies the match score which was returned, while the particular records in the table are matched against the IDT records. Alright, so now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and see how we can get the output into a database directly instead of a flat file. For that, what you need to do is you need to use the answer set prefix. Let's go ahead and see how to do that. So you go to tools, relate. Alright, so when you're using a output file, you cannot use the answer set prefix. This is the answer set prefix column. It has grayed out. So these output file and answer set prefix are mutually exclusive. Now if you want to use the get the data resultant data directly into the database, you need to use the answer set prefix. Here you can specify any prefix, for example AS. So a table with AS prefixed in front of it would be formed in the database, having records, all the resultant records in that table. Also, since you're using a database here for the resultant data, you cannot use an output view in that. If you use an output view, you'll get a parameter error. You can use the output view only when you're getting the result in a flat file. Alright, we can click on OK now. The job is completed. So we'll go to the database and see the resultant records. So the name of the table would be IDS prefixed with the rule-based number, prefixed with AS, that is the answer set prefix, and the IDT name. So this is the output of the relate utility that we searched. You can see that the output is similar to what the output we got at the flat file, because the same records, same logical file, same table has been used for both of them. So the output is stored in a table in this format. So this is how you can get the output in a database directly. And if you do not want to use the database directly, you can use a flat file and you can specify the output view for that. Now we will go ahead and see how you can run the same relate utility using the command prompt. Alright, so in this, what you have to do is you need to go to the bin directory of your SSATop. The relate batch utility will be present over there. Then you have to specify the search name, on which search definition name, and according to which you want to perform a search on the records. Then you have to specify the input file. I'll show you the syntax once. That is, to specify the relate search definition input file. This can be either a flat file or a logical file. If it is a logical file, you have to specify the L file variable in front of it. Out file is the output file, output flat file in which you want to get the output. -R is the rule base string, entire rule base string has to be specified with this switch. The -P switch, you have to specify the system name. With the -H switch, you have to specify the search server host and port. And with the -W switch, you have to specify the work directory. Then you can specify other optional switches. So in our case, if we specify the -C switch, we can, and -C switch followed by the view name, you can get the output of the related in the specified output view. And to get the output in the database directly, we can specify the -A switch, that is the answer set prefix switch, followed by the answer set prefix. So both these switches are mutually exclusive. We cannot use them together for the same reason I explained earlier. Now we'll go ahead and run the relate utility. So here I've specified the -R parameter, -P parameter, -C specifying the work directory, -H specifying the search server host and port, and a -A parameter which will get the output directly into the database. Since I'm using the -A parameter, I'm not using any flat file output file over here. Only the input file L file is specified. I'll hit enter. The search is successful. If you do not get any errors, that is, the search is successful. Now you can go to the database and see the result of it. Here you can see that the output results have come in the table prefixed with AS. And if you want to get the output in a flat file, after the logical file, that is the input file, you need to specify the output file. We'll name it as output2.txt. And also, since we're specifying a flat file, we cannot specify the -A switch. We can specify the -C switch, specifying our view that we want to use. Hit enter. So in output2.txt, our result would be there. So you can see, so since in this we did not use the append new line switch, so all the results have come in one line. You can use the append new line switch also along with it, so that you get the records in different appended by a new line. So this is how we run the relate utility using command line. This is all for today. I hope the video was useful for you and it would help you. So if you want to refer to the KB document of these this video, they are documented under these two IDs. You can refer to the two documents. Thank you for your time. We would always love to hear from you. You can give your feedback at supportvideos@informatica.com, or you can leave another feedback on Twitter also. Thank you so much.